Hi everyone, I'm Amy Gallagher and I am a transformational coach and healer, and I primarily work with executives, helping them to transform the way they lead and live from the inside out. So I help them to work on their mindset, to create a happier, peaceful world inside of themselves so that they can attract in more success, abundance, happiness and inspiration into their lives. So today I just wanted to talk to you about lockdown number 2. Here we go again. But the beauty of this one is that we have learnings from the first time around. And I think you'll all know the things that you want to avoid this time and the things that you are going to really embrace. So my first tip for you is to limit your news intake. Now, of course, it's really important that we stay informed in everything that's going on around us right now, but don't do it too much. Otherwise, you can really get a sense of overwhelm. It might create anxiety and negativity within you. I would also extend this to the people around you. I know people in my life who listen to the news and read the news a lot. And sometimes it's about setting a boundary to say, listen, that's enough for me. I've heard what I need to hear and I need to move on from this. So just notice that if you've got people around you who tend to consume a lot of news and are trying to pass that on to you and it's too much, set that boundary with them. Number 2 is all about get outside and walk in nature. Now, I know a lot of you really embraced that the first time around. I know that I did. And it was just a great way to get outside, get some fresh air and to really ground your energy. Now, last time around we had really beautiful weather, but we're now in autumn. And I think that's one of probably the prettiest season that we have. So go outside for your walks, allow yourself to really appreciate your surroundings and notice what's going on in nature. Nature is constant. Nature doesn't worry about the fact we're in a pandemic. Nature doesn't worry about what's going on in the news and in politics and everything else. It does what it needs to do. And nature is our teacher. It teaches us to try and remain constant in our energy within us and not to be too affected by our external goings on. The beauty of this second lockdown is also that we can meet a family member or friend. So use your walks in nature as a way to stay connected. It's really important that we have human connection. So make the most of that outdoors time with your friends and your family. Tip number 3 is to establish a routine. Now, this was something that I think a lot of my clients realized as time went on in the first lockdown, and I did too, that having a routine is important. Otherwise, it can sometimes feel like you're on holiday, or the day just goes, or there's inconsistencies. So set your alarm, even if you're not going to work or you're not working, set your alarm so you're getting up at the same time each day, and maybe trying to go to bed at the same time each night as well. You know, your sleep is really, really important. And it might be really easy during this time to think, oh, you know, I'll have a few extra hours in bed. Nothing wrong with sleeping longer, especially as we're in the darker part of the year now, but try and still get up at a decent hour so you can get your day going. I have a morning routine that I like to stick to, and that involves coming down to my studio, doing some journaling or meditating, just sitting in stillness before I start looking at emails or start reading the news. And that really, really sets me up for the day. Set boundaries with your working hours. So if you're working from home, tell yourself you're going to work from whatever time in the morning to whatever time in the evening. If you work with clients in different time zones, make sure you have a break during the day. It's really, really important that you have that boundary between your work and your personal life. Otherwise, you'll get burnt out. And this was one of the things that happened in the first lockdown. People pretty much got burnt out, even though they weren't going to work because they were just spending too much of their time at their screens. So going back to the other point I made, make sure you're also putting in that time to get outside for your walks, your cycling, or any other form of movement that you enjoy. Tip number 4 is to be kind to yourself. You know what your body enjoys and thrives on, and you know what depletes you. So if the last time around there was too much alcohol, too much eating, not enough movement, you've got some learnings. So be kind to your body, be kind to your mind, and they will thank you for it. Make wise choices this time around, so that you can feel that after in December, when we come out of lockdown, that you'll feel like your body and mind are thriving, rather than feeling that sense of being depleted and that, I don't know, you ate too much or you were too lazy and didn't do enough movement. And finally, let's be kind to each other. We're all going through this together. And it's really, really important that we look out for one another, particularly people who might be living on their own, or people who are vulnerable. Maybe just keep in touch with them and create a sense of togetherness. Otherwise, if we're not doing that, this is going to create a divisiveness. And we can see that going on a little bit at times. So be kind to each other. Smile at strangers when you go to the supermarket through your mask. And just keep an eye out for those people who, like I say, might be living on their own or might be a little bit vulnerable or elderly. So I'd love to hear from you. If you've got any more lockdown tips that you would like to pass on, or that you have learnings from your first time around, I would love to hear from you. Take care, everyone, and keep safe.